So what I've chosen is a used 2013 Triton 21 HP, and exterior is in really good shape. It's got a really nice black and silver with red pinstriping color, which goes perfectly with my truck, and it looks really badass on the back. The powered by a 2016, so this is a repower, a 2016 Evinrude G2 300. Also has a dual power pole blades, 10 footers. On the front of the boat, it's a brand new Minn Kota Fortrex 112. What I've done with this is added the eliminator hand, or the G-force handle. I've added the grass gator because I fish a lot of grass and a lot of shallow water, and one of my biggest pet peeves was getting grass tangled up in the trolling motor. TH Marine eliminator prop nut, which reduces vibration. Added a cool foot onto the trolling motor pedal because most of the time I'm fishing barefoot. One of the modifications I made is the Helix 10 that was on the front was originally mounted directly onto the side, so I've added a Comfort Troll mount. Used one of my old rod socks, cut it up to run the wiring, nice and hidden, nice and secure. This thing goes nowhere, which is perfect. Front, live well controls, nav lights, trim. Because it's a repower, the two trim buttons don't work, but I'll fix that when I get a chance. Let's see what else we have. I'll get inside the boat, but I just want to kind of go through the outside. Gel coat was in really, really good condition. One little scratch at the front, then a couple tiny little scratches that you can barely discern here. I'll steal my daughter's gel nail polish, and those won't even be seen. On the Evinrude 300, 130 hours. One of the reasons I purchased this boat is because of the low hours on the main motor. It was completely serviced just prior to me taking possession of the boat. Set on a Bob's, looks like it's about a 4-inch hydraulic jack plate. And the reason it had originally a TH Marine, I think, with a 250, the reason they had to change to Bob's is Bob's rates up to 300 horsepower, so that was put on. Really love the jack plate. I've installed, so all you Ranger guys out there, you'll know what this is. This is a remote drain plug. I'm infamous for not putting my drain plug in and launching the boat and then hanging off the back trying to screw the plug in. So I've installed the Flow-Right remote drain plug. So let's get inside the boat, and I'll kind of walk you through the layout, all the crap I've put in there so far. I know there's still a couple of things that I need to do or want to do, like clean the carpets. You can see there's a little bit of dirt staining, but the carpets are in great shape. And then let's walk through some of the compartment layout, the helm layout, and some of the cool features on the boat. All right, so here's the front casting platform. It is absolutely massive. Two guys fish off of this all day long, no problems at all. On the side, you can see the power pole pedal, the stomp pedal to bring up and down your poles. And like I spoke of, the Humminbird Helix 10, which came with the boat. There is a 360 transducer coming. They forgot to put it on the boat before they they gave it to me, and I didn't notice when I picked it up until I got home. So it's in the mail. I should have that on in the next 2 or 3 days. And so first, rod locker. And so one of the cool things about the Tritons is the padded front deck. So the entire deck right back to the consoles is completely padded. I have horrible knees, so this is a godsend for me. Got the 2 recessed seat pedestal mounts, and that's good for a tall guy like me. I can kind of move it back a little bit. Let's go through the first the lod rocker. So pretty standard lod rocker. I know the Rangers on the starboard side rod locker can hold 10 rods, or have 10 rod tubes. You can double them up. The Tritons have 14. I think I got 12 rods in there right now. I got another 4 or 5 that need to go in. I know I'll be able to put everything in here without having to sacrifice any kind of storage anywhere else to keep my rods. I usually fish with probably, anywhere between 15 and 20 rods. That's plenty for me for all situations. So it just means I don't have to keep shipping rods back and forth from my office into my boat. So everything is nice and loaded in here. The first storage I have, just basically all hard crankbaits are in here, top water. I'm missing a box, which I have no idea what that is or where it went, but I'll find it. And everything is, nice, easy to access. Second front box is a huge, I don't even know if you can see way up there, but it runs about 5 feet up the boat. I can probably put a couple bodies in there and no one would find them. I keep my life vests in here, miscellaneous, a couple tools, some odds and ends, all my Senkos I keep up front. That's this big honking box here, and I have a couple of other spare boxes in there as well. Third box is kind of miscellaneous Kawartha Lakes kind of stuff. So I have a muskie cradle, which is a must for anybody that's even bass fishing. Lots of 40 to 50 inch muskies that you catch. That just makes it so much easier without trashing your net getting them in. A couple of rod socks for those windy days, weigh bag, paddle, all the other safety equipment in there. Tons of room. All my rain gear goes in here. I usually keep 2 sets of rain gear, other miscellaneous type of stuff, but I haven't fully loaded the boat yet, so still going with it. And this is a cooler, pretty standard. That's where tournament days I'll keep 2 bags of ice in there for my live wells, and it'll keep them pretty cool all day. So we'll go to the back and then we'll work at the helm. So what I've done here is remove, there's a middle folding seat. I've removed that to have a more concrete kind of platform to stand on and step down. I'm sure the kids and wife will not be thrilled that there's no third seat in here. However, 99% of the time this is used for fishing. It just makes sense. Underneath here is an igloo cooler. That's where drinks, food, all that kind of good stuff will go. Tournament day or just out fishing day. Side console, passenger rod storage for I believe 7 or 6 rods, tons for co-angler. Got a folding Triton net that I think comes standard. I'm not sure how much I trust it, but I'll give her a whirl over the next couple weeks and then decide whether to change that out or keep it. So this side, mostly plastics, frogs, terminal tackle, lots of heavy stuff, jig heads, jigs, all of my plastics, boxes of worms. So this is a lot of the heavier stuff I like to keep in the back just for weight distribution. So that's where all that is. Next compartment I leave open for co-angler. There's room in there for 2, 4, 7, probably 7 Plano boxes, bunch of other terminal stuff. So lots and lots of storage in this boat. So 2 separate live wells in the Triton. Bloody huge live wells. They're honking huge. All have separate pump out, recirc, and fill pumps. So there's 6 pumps for each of these, and I hope I'm not replacing them anytime soon. But huge capacity within these live wells, which I'm very, very happy about. And into the back. So because the Evinrude has a the oil reservoir mounted right within the engine, it leaves a lot of room back here. So have the 4 trolling motor batteries, the Minn Kota charger, the motor for the jack plate, the 2 power pole reservoirs, and still a ton of room in there. Awesome stuff. Let's close this up. And so the console. Let's have a seat here in our office. Drop this. So one thing that I did, there was a Humminbird 998 mounted, flush mounted here. So I've built my own with the help of a Decade mount, my own mount here for the Humminbird Helix 12 SI. Excuse me. All the gauges are still visible, even with this big honking massive beast in front of me. But I might still mount the 998 on the side for charting, but I think I'll probably be all right with this. So that's one purchase I made. And I was going to get the Bass Boat Technologies mount, but at 370 US, which is about, I don't know, 450, 500 Canadian, with shipping, with duty, it didn't really make sense. I went to a machine shop. They built me the plate for 40 bucks. I bought the Decade for 80 bucks, and that's, and this is mounted. It ain't going anywhere. I can probably rip the console out. Sorry, before I lose this unit. I do have some of the e-locks that are coming in, just to protect this, because I want to keep this on the boat. Same thing with the one at the front. But great great sonar here. On all the Tritons, hidden key, pretty standard kind of stuff, nothing super awesome. So with the Evinrude, there is no hot foot. However, I don't know if you can see that, but there is a throttle pedal. So that is the Evinrude throttle pedal. It's more shaped like a car or vehicle pedal than it is the hot foot, which is more of a swinging, actuating type of lever. On the side, trim on the right. On the left is the jack plate up and down. Overall, I really enjoy the layout of this boat, how it's set up. Fishability is great. I've had it out twice so far. So taking long runs up and down Pigeon Lake, just to get used to the jack plate, get used to the trim, how the boat likes to ride, how it sits on pad, the chine walk once you get up, you know, in the mid 60s. Boat handles extremely well. With that 300 Evinrude, this thing is stinking fast. You know, probably a mid 80s, high 80 mile an hour boat. So overall, I'm really happy with this purchase. You know, my Nitro was good to me. It was a smaller boat, 18.5 feet with a 150 Merc on it. It was a little bit too small for some of the tournaments. You know, you get eaten up pretty bad by some of the bigger 21 footers ripping by you. So decided to you know, sell the boat. I went about a month and a half without a boat at all, and then found this one, kind of stewed over it, went and saw it a couple of times. Had, you know, pretty much everything I wanted, other than I wasn't thrilled about the 998. A couple little cosmetic things that I had to do. I knew I'd have to clean the carpets, which I will probably do in the fall. There's some trailer maintenance stuff that needs to be done. But overall, you know, changing the front deck the way I wanted with the Humminbird, the you know, the accessories on the Fortrex, the handle, I'm really happy. I've probably put about 10 to 15 hours on the main motor, and you know, really happy on how quiet the Evinrude G2s are for a 2-stroke. I'm used to the Optimaxes. I've had them for years, and there's a noticeable difference in, you know, the audible sound that comes out of that engine. Super smooth getting on pad. Not a lot of bow rise to the Triton, which is really nice. Some of the bass boats, when you're hammering it out of the hole, you get quite a bit of bow rise and then it'll settle. This Triton, just a little touch of bow rise, gets up on pad quick. You know, once you're on plane, you just drop the jack plate down about 1.5, start to trim up, and then, you know, by that time you're at 60 miles an hour all day long, no issues there. And it, you know, I've had it 65 and there was a lot left, so I know, you know, next calm morning I'm gonna head out to the lake and really give her a run and make, just to see what it'll do. Not that I'm gonna do that all the time. It becomes quite the gas sucking machine, and at, you know, $250 to $300 for a fill-up, Canadian dollars for a fill-up, that is a little bit steep. So that's my boat in a nutshell, or my new boat in a nutshell, new to me anyway. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll have some fishing videos up pretty soon, because I plan on having this thing out quite a bit over the next couple of weeks.